Hey, what up, y'all? So today we're going to be disassembling and reassembling a Raider. This happens to be an X, but this works exactly the same for the MP17 Raider as well. So we'll start off, deploy this. Actually, easiest way to get this off is just stick something in there, pop it real quick. Or you can do it with your thumb, but I use a tool. So back cap comes off, deploy the brace. And then you're going to need a 5/64 bit, or you can use the Allen key supplied. Take the 2 bolts out of the brace, or stock, depending on your setup. That should slide off. Press your deploy lever. Put your rails in. Those guys will slide right out the front. There is a left and a right. I will show that on reassembly. And we can take the deploy lever. It's these 2 screws here. There is a spring under here, so you're going to want to keep an eye on that guy. So that'll just pop out like that. Then we can go to our safety, same bit, screw there. That is going to be blue Loctited. And you want to push out the other side with something. I'm going to use a cut Allen key here. Just kind of give it a little tap. I really wish I had the tool for this that someone stole off my desk and I can't find.
What was it?
There was a little tool I used to hammer this out, because if I pry it out, it's going to mess it up. But let me try. Okay. So you can use a little screwdriver or something in here. Just be careful not to mar this up. But you'll get your one side of your lever off. The other side will slide out. And then your middle section. And then you can go to, say, the dual mag release. Again, using the same bit. You can use the Allen key here in the back of the Raider. This little guy here is the right size for all of these bolts. Get it lined up in there. This is Loctited really tight. Okay, so this assembly will come out. There's a spring and a screw in the mag paddle there. Then your front steel just going to lift out. Your rear mag steel will come out. There is a spring behind there. And then your AR mag release button will fall out as well. Those guys. Then you're going to need a Torx 8 to take off the QD mount on the side of the frame. It's just those 2 screws right there, and the plate will lift off. And finally, you will need a T6. And that is going to be these 3 screws holding in the chunk on the back. And then this one, I'll get with this guy. Oh, And then there's the rail lock pivot back here. This is this size. Was that 5/64? Yeah. And then this guy should just slide out once the screws are all undone. Okay, there is a rail lock and a spring in there. You can just pour those out. You can take the ejection bolt out. It's a... I don't remember what size this is.
Is it M4?
Is it M4?
Yeah. I don't know.
Okay.
I don't know all the specs.
I don't know.
I'll just add that in.
Yeah, I'm going to leave that in there because it's red Loctite.
Yeah.
All right, reassembly. The exact order on some parts is not super important, but this is the way I do everyone. So, you're going to start, take your rail lock, place it in the back of the frame like so, and you're going to take one of these tightly coiled springs. There are 3 of these in each Raider. Slide that guy in. You're just going to want to make sure it's in the notch right there in the rail lock. You're going to take your chunk, stick that guy in the back there, put pressure on it, and then use something to lift the rail lock, and you'll feel the chunk pop in. Make sure this spring is sitting nice and flush in there. Then we're going to install our 3 chunk screws. One in the back here, it's a T6. And then there's one on each side. So there's one right here under the QD plate, and then one right here. And after the chunk, you're going to take your deploy lever, pop that guy in there. It'll sit under spring tension. And then one more of our tightly coiled springs here. Slide this guy right in there so it sits like that. Take our side plate, drop it over there. Then we'll take our 2 screws for the side plate here and install these. Once those guys are in, you're going to want to install the rail lock pivot screw, and that's going to go right down in there. It is a good idea to put a little bit of blue Loctite on this guy. It's gonna look like that when she's installed. Okay, and then I'm gonna go ahead on to the side plate here, the QD plate. That is a Torx 8. It's gonna be these 2 screws, so you just set it on there. Run the screws in. Okay. Now for the dual mag system. So we're gonna take your AR style mag release button, sneak it right in here. So it's gonna sit like that. And take your main mag release, slide it in the side here. It'll kind of hook in. And then you're going to need your third tight spring. And it's going to go in that little slot right there. So it's kind of hard to show, but you want to get it started where it's on that ledge against the steel, and then it'll just snap in like that. Function test, make sure it slides forward and back. Take your front mag steel, drop that in, and then you're going to take your dual mag release button with your spring and your screw. Make sure the spring is in the relief in the frame. Stick that in. And tighten that guy down. You can access the screw through that hole. Again, function check. Okay. Now we'll install our safety. So we're going to need our safety neck and beak. So you're going to drop it down through the middle here. And with it standing upright, you'll take one side of your safety and insert the hex through. Make sure this is in the fire position and your neck is upright. Match the other side. You'll press it on. You might need a tool to squeeze it a little bit. You can pinch it with some pliers. Just be careful not to smash it. Then you're going to take your screw, and install that guy. Check function, make sure detent's good. Okay, that's done. Then for the rails and the brace system, so you're going to take your right rail, it's the one with the single nub. You want that facing down. And you just insert from the front to press the lever, and it'll slide in. And then you want it all the way back in the detent just like that. Same for your other rail, except this one has two nubs. Going to insert, press down on the lever, slide it in, pull it back to the detent so it sits like that. Take your brace or stock, slide it over the back. You'll take your two brace bolts, slide those in, tighten them down, and throw your back cap on. This just snaps into place, and you're done.